Hi, all. I'm glad you're here today. I don't expect that as many of you as are usually here will be here, but I thought it would be important enough to post today. Memorial Day means the whole new season has started. Summer is here, and all of you are on the program. And what I want to emphasize is that every single one of us made a choice. That choice was to be on the program. And here it is, summer. And there are all kinds of issues and detours. In the last few weeks, we have been focusing more and more on the emotional and mental issues because of the fact that there is no question. Every single one of you knows that the program works. Working the program is what the issue is. And I want to emphasize once again that in the 25 plus years that I have been promoting this program, never once has anyone been able to come to me and show me in any meaningful kind of way that what we have been promising is not what we deliver. So let's talk about summer. Let's talk about the fact that we're on the program and that the difference is that we toss off our clothes and we're faced with anything and everything. So let's start with realizing that all of us have made choices, and that the choices that we have made have come from within. One of the things that I like to focus people on is the fact that why did I do that? Ah, why did I do that? And realize that it was not situation and circumstances that caused us to do it. Whatever it was within. One of the things that I'd like to point out is the fact that for a period of time, I periodically come back to one of the people who's done the program. You all may heard me talk about him. He was over 350 pounds. He called me on the phone after losing about 200 pounds and said to me, Dr. Schwartz, help me understand. I was 357 pounds. No one talked to me. I did my job. Now I've lost almost 200 pounds. I've gotten a raise. I've gotten a promotion. I've got loads of friends. How could I go from being 357 pounds and invisible lose 200 and become visible? Well, he came to mind today because I realized that the issue is what he said, but it's because everything that occurs in our lives, functional kinds of things, come from within and not without. I was thinking about when I was a child and we used to go sledding in Prospect Park in Brooklyn. And there was a trail, it was called Suicide Mountain. I would go sledding, I enjoyed it. It was, in those days, cold didn't seem to bother me at all, and it was fun. One of my friends, out of the blue, normal, enjoying ourselves, he said, I'm going to. Took a sled, went over to the trail, Suicide Mountain. I was in the ambulance with him as they took him to the hospital. And he looked at me and said, bad choice. All of us have choices. And I want to point out that when you made the choice to do AccuWeight, to do AccuLife, you had every right to do so. And it was your choice. One of the other things that I've talked about is the fact that you knew that some of the choices that you were going to make were going to make you unhappy. They didn't feel good. They made you uncomfortable. You knew that commitment was to yourself. And we're going to get to the summer very shortly because there are some options that we need to look at because of the fact that it is summer that's coming up. Now, you committed to recognizing that if you continued to eat the way in which you had been eating, that you would not be successful. And therefore, you accepted the fact that you had to change. This week has been a very interesting week for me because I have been focusing with people on exactly the fact that they were making choices, just as I did. I made the choice to be here tonight. And the reason I did is because it gives me pleasure. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this because you guys asked me to commit myself to be your Sherpa guide. And if I did not come here before you, it's just a Monday night, even though it's Memorial Day, I would not be fulfilling my responsibility to you. And that's why I'm still here. I've been doing this for 25 years. My promise to you has never changed. It's just evolved. So let's accept the fact that the reason that we are here together is because the greater we are in control, the more successful we're going to be. I can no higher level of doing. You can't say that you are losing weight because the reason is something within you made you make that decision. When you made the decision, you recognized that you were going to be uncomfortable. And here you are, and many of you are uncomfortable. I had a woman call me on the phone and say to me, Dr. Schwartz, I didn't lose any weight this week. And I said, oh, anything else you want to tell me? She said, no, I'm disappointed. I said, she's doing the remote program. I said, well, let me give you your new point. But before you go, let me ask you a question. Have you noticed any change? And she said, what do you mean? And I said, you tell me you didn't lose weight. You tell me you're unhappy. And you're disappointed. So the question I'm asking you is, for example, do your clothes feel any different? And she said, yes, they're looser. So does it make any difference that you didn't lose any weight? Suppose you're 200 pounds and you're 5'4" and 200 pounds, and you're a size 4. What makes the difference? Your size or what the scale says? Now, summer is here. We all have choices to make. Recognizing that we are in control of making those choices is what we are all about. And I'm going to direct you in just a bit to options and alternatives that we have, because you have choices. You're not locked in. If you are an answering machine, the phone rings, the machine answers. If you are you, the phone rings, you choose or choose not to answer. And it is in these choices that we need to look, because if you look at the bottom of the screen, there is an expectation, just because of the world in which we live in, that there are going to be detours. I heard one just yesterday or the day before. 2 of my wife's friends had to go someplace. And my wife had said to them, remember, it's going to be a difficult journey for you because of the fact there's going to be a lot of traffic. When she spoke to them that evening, they said it was terrific. We appreciated the fact that you pointed out there was going to be a lot of traffic. So we took a different route. It's about 40 minutes longer, but we actually got there 5 minutes sooner than we ordinarily would have taken us to get there. And we were moving all the way. They took a detour. They made a choice. They used the information that they had to make that choice, and they felt better about it. And in this particular case, it took them 5 minutes less. On the other hand, it could have taken them 20 minutes longer. But if they were okay with that choice, then since they got to the destination that they chose to with awareness, how can we argue? What is key to what here is going on is our opening up and recognizing that what comes from inside dictates the choices that are available and the choices that we make. And if we are clear, then there are no good or bad choices. The outcomes depend on you. For example, how many of you have found yourself in a situation where you tried something and it didn't work out and you felt miserable? Whether you felt miserable or not didn't change the outcome, but how you felt made a big difference and also may have determined whether you're going to make the same decision again the other time, the next time. Now, one of the realities of the telephone calls that I have been receiving following bead placements. I have a wedding to go to. I have a meeting to attend. I'm going on vacation. I want to get into that dress. The choices are numerous. And what I want to point out is that the reason we use the scale is because the scale is a hard object that tells us only whether something is happening. It doesn't tell us anything else. If you remember the woman I spoke about just a few moments ago, her scale didn't really move. But what did move was the fact that her clothing became looser. I have no way of measuring, except in an instance like that where her clothing was looser, and that didn't happen between today and tomorrow. But the scale tells me whether something is happening. And that's the reason we use the scale and get focused on it. So let's stop. Let's recognize that we have made a commitment to ourselves. We're not doing it for any other reason. We're doing it for ourselves. I was discussing something with someone, and they were talking about Usher, who portrayed Sugar Ray Robinson. And what they said to me was that Usher made a decision. He wanted to play Sugar Ray Robinson. And Sugar Ray met him and said, "You're too fat. You can't play me." And what was he to do? I'm not going to discuss the specifics of what he did, but he made a choice. That choice was uncomfortable, but it worked. And he portrayed Sugar Ray in the movie. You're here for a choice. You don't have to justify that choice. You're an adult. You have every right to say, this is what it is I want. And so the first thing we have to do is get away from justification. Point number two, and this is important. I want you to recognize that some of those choices are going to make you uncomfortable. So here's the question. Recognizing that you're going to be uncomfortable because the choices are new and change is difficult for many of us, are you willing to accept the fact? And remember, those choices are not permanent. They're there because you have assigned yourself a goal. Do you wish to achieve that goal? Now, if the answer is yes, then recognize what we are doing here. I know a guy who's doing the program. He's losing weight, but he's having a terrible, terrible time. And the reason he's having a terrible time is that his wife is an incredible cook. And since he's been on the program, she has gone out of her way to prepare things for him that are not valid as far as the program is concerned. And he's having a very difficult time because she is going over and above to do this kind of thing. And that's why we're here. He has a situation. What's it all about? It's the internal, which is what is important. I've discussed it with him, and the fact that he made the choice to lose the weight changed the entire dynamic of his relationship with her. She's a terrific cook. He loves what it is that she makes. And since she's gone on the program, she's gone out of her way to make choices for him that are exceptionally tempting and at the same time sabotaging. And I asked him, what does he think? And he said, she loves me. That's why she's doing this. I said, okay, she loves you. That's why she's doing this. But does she not recognize that it's sabotaging what your actual goal is? He said, yeah. But she's worried about me. And I said, what do you mean she's worried about me? Well, I'm not eating the way I normally do, and she's worried about me. I said, what about the issue of weight loss? And he said, we don't talk about it. I said, but let me ask you a different question. Is it possible that since you've been on the program, you've taken away from her the very thing that makes her safe and secure with you because you look forward to eating, you appreciate what it is that she does, and your choice took away that option for her? He said he never thought about it. And the reason I shared that with him and thought about it is this Memorial Day and what's happening during the summer. We have, as you know, what we call a summer plan. A few minutes ago, I shared with you that two of my wife's friends took a different route. It took less time, but it could have taken more time. In either case, they would have achieved their goal. Time was not their issue. So they could have taken a route that didn't involve traffic, took a few minutes longer, and got there to the same place. We have a summer plan. The summer plan does not prevent you from achieving your goal. What the summer plan does is psychologically give you something that you didn't think you had, and that is choices, and at the same time allows you to achieve your goal and emotionally have something that was not available to you before. So what I want to do is direct you to a website. And the options on this website are going to give you 2 days a week off the program. We're still going to be on the program. We're still going to lose weight. We could still have our goals. But 2 days a week, we will be off the program. Yes, we're giving up the fact that we are going to be losing a minimum of 15 pounds every 30 days. We're giving that up temporarily. But I'm going to a wedding, I'm going on vacation, and I want to enjoy that wedding. I want to enjoy that vacation. I want to enjoy this kind of thing. And if I have a plan, I stay in control, but the route that I take to get there is different. So I want you to go to youraculife.com, youraculife.com/summer plan. And just to make sure, I wrote it down, youraculife.com/summer plan. It gives you choices. It also may give you some recipes. We will achieve our goal, but the route that we're taking is somewhat different, and we do not violate the program, nor do we give up the goals that we have achieved so far. I thought it would be a beautiful way for us to spend Memorial Day evening, summer beginning. Pools are opening, things are happening. The goal is still there. The more you discuss with others and with me, the more we grow and learn. Have a great rest of the week. youraculife.com/summer plan. Hope to talk to you soon. Take care.